Republicans in Congress are vehemently opposing the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which would require police departments, police officers to have a little bit more accountability when they are policing. And so in the meantime, the Republican Senate in Kentucky specifically, they're passing a bill, or they're trying to pass a bill that would make it illegal to insult a cop during a protest. Let's find out some of these details. This is insane. Senate Bill 211 mandates up to 3 months imprisonment for a person who, quote, accosts, insults, taunts, or challenges a law enforcement officer with offensive or derisive words, or makes gestures or other physical contact that would have a direct tendency to provoke a violent response from the perspective of a reasonable and prudent person. That law officer. A person convicted of this misdemeanor charge could also face a $250 fine and disqualified from public assistance benefits for 3 months. I'm really not sure why public assistance benefits has anything to do with this. Continuing on, the bill has a provision pushing back on the defund the police movement, which states government entities that fund law enforcement agencies must, quote, maintain and improve their respective financial support to these cops. So the lead author of this bill in Kentucky is named by David Carroll, who's a former police officer. You might be surprised to find out. And he said this country was built on lawful protest, and it's something that we must maintain our citizens' right to do so. What this deals with are those who cross the line and commit criminal acts. Now, it wouldn't be a criminal act until you make it one with a bill like this, but cross the line, making it a criminal act. We already know a lot of what's in the George Floyd Policing Act, but first off, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah, it's outrageous. It's probably the single most clear violation of the First Amendment I've ever seen. And Republicans have tried a lot of violations of the First Amendment, including saying that protesters can be locked up for protesting oil pipelines and maybe run over. So they've also tried that. But this is the government saying if you insult a government official, and yes, cops are government officials, you'll be arrested. Yeah, that's not what we do in America. That's the people who put this together obviously hate the US Constitution or have never read it and would rather live in an authoritarian government. And by the way, this could theoretically also apply to right-wing protesters. So Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, or even just normal right-wing protesters, if you disagree with the cops and quote unquote insult them, they could put you in jail. What was that, Jayar? 3 months? They're gonna take your freedom away for 3 months?
Well, no, it's $250 fine and 3 months of not getting government assistance.
Yeah, I believe there's a provision, I'm gonna double check here, that you might actually go to jail for insulting someone. Look, I used to joke around, but there's unfortunately some reality to it, that the biggest crime in America is insulting a police officer. Yeah. It's not on any law books, I would tell you, but you will get your skull cracked and you will go to prison and they'll make up a charge on you. Yeah. Now, Kentucky is saying, you don't have to make up the charge. We'll just pass a wildly illegal and unconstitutional law so that we can actually arrest you for hurting my feelings.
And I'm sorry, real quick, David, before you jump in, because I know you have a lot. So also, it's baked in there. It's just from that language that would provoke a violent response from the perspective of a reasonable and prudent person. So this would include, after the cop gets mad that you said something disrespectful to him, he can attack you. Then after that, you're still getting the law on your coming down on your head for provoking him to do such a thing to you. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, look, no, I think to Cenk's point about it being constitutional, I think anybody, if you said, if you gave them the outline of this, they would say there's no way any of the courts are going to uphold this. This is going to get rejected. But given the way the court packing that we've seen over the last several years, and the way that some Trump judges in particular have started viewing the First Amendment, and the way the Supreme Court looks at this, I mean, I would like to think that even this Supreme Court would say this is complete nonsense. There's no way this is going to be upheld, but there are going to be some court fights and there may be some judges along the way. But here's the other thing. You said Kentucky. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they should focus a little more in Kentucky on, say, making sure that police, I don't know, go into the right apartment in Louisville, as opposed to worrying about whether somebody is telling a police officer you're number one when that person is about to crack you over the head with their baton. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, I want to clarify a couple of things here. Yes, the bill, I just double checked, mandates up to 3 months imprisonment for anyone who insults a cop, okay? I mean, this is absurd. But it's not just insults. They say insults or taunts. What's a taunt? I don't know what a taunt is, right? In that context, that gives you so much room to say he looked at me kind of funny. He didn't even say it, but he taunted me with his eyes. This is the most insane bill ever. And or gestures or physical contact that would provoke a violent response, as Jayar said. Also challenges a law enforcement officer with offensive or derisive words. Sounds like cancel culture. So if you say an offensive word, we will imprison you for 3 months. If you're a conservative, if you're not against this bill, don't ever, ever, ever talk about cancel culture. And by the way, don't also even walk near a cop, because if they think you're taunting them with your eyes, you're going to prison.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, Jayar. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.